Oh my gosh. Well, it says, okay, you know, we're going to be vertical on YouTube because it says that I selected horizontal orientation, but it's telling me when I do that I'm wrong. What's new? What's new? Can't do anything right, and I'm always wrong, right? It's the story of my life. But we're here, okay? We're here, and this is my few minutes of the day where I don't care if YouTube tells me I'm wrong for going vertical or horizontal instead of vertical. I won't do it. I have this poster that says, "Who's going to tell me I won't," or something like that. Who's going to tell me I can't, or who's going to stop me? That's what it says. Well, apparently YouTube, but whatever. So it's Thursday. From now on, I'm going live every third Thursday on YouTube and Facebook for Redesign with Prima. So I was doing 100 lives in 100 days. Life happened. I'm going to resume that soon, but I had to pause because some things happened that required all my attention and time. But you know how that goes. So anyways, that's not what you're here for. You're here for DIY, right? DIY. So right now we're working on this wall right here, and this is in my studio/shed where I'm going to be working out of. And if you caught any of my previous videos on Facebook, you would have seen the beginning of this. So it was a plywood wall. I didn't drywall it. I only drywalled my staging wall, but this is plywood, right? I know. Can't tell, huh? Looks pretty good for plywood, huh? Plywood. So it's plywood, and what we did was we took some chalk paste and some spackle and all the different types of mediums that that impart texture. And we did some layers, okay? We did some scraping on of just various colors. I'm doing all neutrals because it is a secondary staging wall. And, you know, if you're taking photos of people, furniture, whatever you're taking photos of, you don't want the background to be the subject, the focus, right? You want your subject to be the subject. So our subject is generally furniture, and it's usually pretty colorful, if I might add. So we want the background to be pretty neutral, not to steal the show. And I'm using like kind of grays, some gold, different things like that, and white. So what we did was we took a wood block or a mud knife, trowel, putty knife, scraper, block of wood, your shoe, whatever it's flat that you can scrape stuff on with. We use, right? I'm looking like crazy. I'm looking like I'm gonna fly away. Like that guy in Back to the Future. Anyways, so we used some chalk paste. We're gonna use icing paste tonight. We're creating layers. So I did some stenciling in, what stencil did I use? Oh yeah, that's right. It's out there getting cleaned. No, but we used the stencil. We used the old, I forget what it was called. I think it's retired now, but you can see it kind of right here. It was some sort of I want to say Moroccan trellis or something like that. I don't know. It's retired, and I'm very sad about it. Rest in peace, because that was a great stencil. All the good ones, they go early, but covered up a little bit of my poor craftsmanship here. I'm not a framer, a drywaller, a contractor, woodworker. I mean, I want to be all those things, and I try my hand at it the best I can, but I'm not a professional at those things. So we covered that up. And so if you have a textured wall or a wall with blemishes or parts that are not perfect that you don't like, this is a great technique in order to cover up those spots, those blemishes, those imperfections. So this is where I seamed together 2 pieces of plywood. Normally it would be drywall, something like that, but drywall is too fancy for this wall. It's just, in a shed. So we seamed them together right here. Took some spackle and some chalk paste, stencil, did some patches of just, smeared on areas of those mediums. And then I went through and I painted it all this kind of watered down white. It's a white mixed with a little bit of gray and a little bit of beige. So it's a grayish white that I made myself. And I watered it down just a little bit. So in theory, when we're all done with our layers, we sand down and we find these little spots that peek through of texture and color and interesting things, but not too interesting so that they steal the show, okay? I just need a nice looking backdrop that looks aged. I wanted something aged, like it had been through years of different treatments and that it was kind of, you know, decomposing or eroding in some spots. We call it distressed in furniture. But if I can find some sandpaper, I'll show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. Thought I brought some out here, but we'll see. Sandpaper, where are you? Might have took it all inside. Here's a little bit. Okay, so when I'm all done, tonight we're gonna add on some more layers. Then I'm probably gonna do a wash of like an off-white over the whole thing, which is basically just like whatever paint color. For me, it's gonna be an off-white mixed with some water, usually around 50-50. I'm gonna water it down a little bit more, maybe like 75 water, 25 paint, and roughly go over the whole thing. Like literally, I'm gonna take a big old brush and go smatter it all over the whole thing. Not going for perfection, okay? In fact, the more imperfect, the better in this situation. So after that wash dries, I'm gonna take some sandpaper and go through. And little spots here and there, as if I was distressing, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna sand some spots, okay? And let's see, I'll show you up close here in a second. Let me show you up close. So, let's see, take you out of here. When we're all done, you'll get a little bit of a taste here. When we're all done, I'm gonna go through and distress, mostly in the corners and, hold on YouTube, you can go second. So you see how you get a little bit of that kind of off-white ivory color showing through, where I sanded it just now, where I kind of distressed it, we say. Okay, see that? You see that little bit of that off-white color showing through? So it'll be like that over the whole thing. You know, just very subtle, not too crazy. I guess we gotta bring YouTube in on this. The ugly stepsister. I'm sorry, I mean the evil stepsister. That's what you are, YouTube. You give me problems. Okay, so let's see. Oh, well. See that little bit of that off-white showing through? That was from some chalk paste. I think the color was Hubbard Squash. But anyways, you get little bits of color like that all over in an otherwise neutral and all white wall. Okay, so again, this is the wall where I'm going to be, it's a secondary wall where I'm going to take photos of, you know, furniture and things like that. Now you can see my handiwork right there, trying to seam those two panels together, can't you? But we're going to make that kind of blend in and you won't even see it, will ya? So because I'm not a cameraman with one camera, I'm not one with two, obviously, but pardon my lack of cameraman skills. And big props to those who are cameramen and women, because wow, that ain't an easy job. But check that out. You see that? See how you can just see the subtle bits of color showing through? And it's going to add a little bit of interest to my secondary staging wall. Not too crazy to steal the show, but just enough. So we're going to add a couple more layers onto that, okay? Dana says I don't like it when you're mean to yourself. You know what? I try to catch myself doing that because I have daughters, and when I do that and they are around, I really get hard on myself because I don't want them to pick up that same habit, you know? You got to be careful. But, oops, I got to switch that around. But, you know, it's hard because, you know, as a woman or a human being in general, you know when you could be doing better or you feel like you could be doing better, and that's rough, man. It's rough to feel like you're not doing your best or you screwed up or something. That's a hard feeling. It's a hard feeling to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. I could do better, you know? I feel like I could do much better. And that's the only reason I don't like it, because for me, I am very hard on myself, and I'm sure you are too, in whatever aspect, whether you're an artist or whatever you are as a profession. You know, you want it, if you care about something and you want to do your best at it and you feel like you're not, you're hard on yourself. That's just what we do. Part of it's motivating and part of it's just self-deprecating, and that's no good, right? And I know that. It's one of those things you got to get used to or get unused to. And I'm still working on the unused to thing, but thank you. I appreciate that reminder because it means a lot. Let's see. YouTube and you book a face. Let's do this. So I'm going to grab my icing paste, which is metallic. It's from the Finnabair line of from Prima Marketing, one of the other lines from Prima, which is what the family that makes Redesign Prima products. Okay, so we're going to grab our icing paste. Bam! Ooh, I love this stuff. A, it's metallic. B, the texture is, you know, I love me some texture, so please don't be dried up. Yes, it's dried up. Bad news is there's only a little bit, but that's okay because we don't need that much. Look at that. Are you a texture person? Because if you are, boy, have I got a product for you. Boom, look at that. It's like smooth, delicious. Isn't that good? Yeah, it's good. So when it dries, it's more sparkly. It's a little dull when it's wet. You know, most metallic type items are, but it dries really sparkly. It dries kind of a plasticky like finish, so it's pretty durable. You can wipe it. It's shiny, glossy. It's got quite a durable finish. It's permanent. It's not going anywhere. But I like to add a little bit of gold or sparkle or whatever metallic you want to an otherwise neutral wall. So if you're trying to envision where I'm going here, join the club. No, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my metallic, my icing paste here. I'm going to stencil some areas of sparkle around, see where my hands are? Around this little frame right here that we're making. So with the screen you're looking at, it's a frame, right? That's what they call it, a frame. And we're framing in our subject, which in this instance, it's me. Okay, so pretend like you're taking a photo of your furniture or your daughter or your whatever you are going to take a picture of. Or not. But for your knowledge, because knowledge is power, say this is our frame, okay, which it is. Taking a photo, subject, me, furniture, whatever your subject is, frame around us. Okay, so we're going to take the metallic, which on YouTube, it's a vertical. On Facebook, it's horizontal. My pictures are mostly square. I like to make them square because Instagram is a little fickle and it likes square. Everything else takes whatever type photos, but Instagram likes square. So we go with the most difficult of all of them and we do square. We, by meaning we, I mean I. So I do square photos. So my frame is a square. So just imagine that. Take a little bit of the metallic and go all the way around the frame. Just a little bit here and there. What that does is it draws your eye to the subject by framing it in. Okay? So that's a little photography trick. But I'm not a professional photographer, so I'm sure someone else can explain it better. But that's what our idea is and how we know where to place our metallic or whatever it is that you're going to add to your wall, your surface, your canvas, your furniture, whatever. So I'm going to be using some pieces from some stencils from Redesign with Prima, part of my designer line. They're called Mix and Style. Okay, so what they are is they are a package of stencils. It comes with a frame, okay, and then some inserts that you put on the frame. They line up perfectly. You don't even have to like worry about that. They just match up, and you can make the frame. You can put whatever insert you want. You can switch it out. You can use the same one all over. You can do whatever. I mean, I've cut them apart. I've done all kinds of stuff. That's up to you. But I'm going to show you how they work. We're going to do some in icing paste in, this is vintage gold, I believe it's called. Okay. Yes, vintage gold. I also love the white gold. It's beautiful. It comes in all different kinds of shades. I don't know if it's called Firebird. I know that's the wax, but there's like a reddish, amber, orangish red. Oh, it's fire, literally. But that's not going to work with our wall here. So the mix and style stencils are 12 by 12 tiles. That's why they're called mix and tile. Okay, that's not it. But for instance, each set comes with 5 stencils, 1 frame and 4 inserts or centers. The frames look like this. There's one other version, but I like this one because it's got swirlies and things like that. There's also, let's see if I have the other one. I don't think I have the other frame. I think I used it or I had to throw it away because it's so abused. But in either case, it doesn't matter because the frames to each set, they match up with the insert or center to each set. So you can mix them and style them. Mix and tile, mix and style. So I'm going to use this frame mostly because that's the only one we could find. But the inserts I'm going to use from this set called Damask Elements. Okay, so there's Gothic, oh gosh, what do they call it? There's a Gothic one and a Damask one. They're all interchangeable. But I really love Damask, you know that. Let's pick this one. This one's pretty utilitarian. It's your classic Damask pattern. And we're just going to peel off this tape I had here. I don't remember why I put it there. I was doing something custom, obviously, but we don't need that now. So this is an insert, okay? Do we want to pick another one or no? Why not? Which one do we want to pick, though? Yeah, let's pick one from the Gothic Gothic Glam, something like that. Let's pick that one, just because that way I can show you that they all fit together. Ooh, I like this one a lot. But that means I've used a lot. Let's go with the birds, okay? See these little swallows? They're like Ed Hardy classic tattoo flash swallows. See? Ooh, and they've got a little bit of damask in them, so they'll go perfectly. So we've got 2 different inserts or centers from 2 different sets. We have got the frame from, I believe this one's from Glam Goth or Gothic Glam set. But either way, it will fit with any of them. Okay, so do you see these little hook swirlies here? These little guys right here? Those 2 right there. See those? Those are on both sets, okay? They're present in every single slide or stencil on both sets. And that is how you know when you're lining up your centers. So Damask Element, see it? It's a little messed up because I've not cleaned my stencil, but you see them there, right? Right there in the middle. See how they line up? Right about like that. Ah, maybe if I can. Okay, see how they line up? Right there? Right there? See that? So that's where you line them up. I mean, how easy is that? You just line up those little squares or shapes. So we're going to start with the outside. You can start with the center or the frame. It doesn't matter, but if you're going to be fitting a specific area, you probably want to start with the frame because you want to start, you know, in a corner or at the bottom or wherever. So we're going to start with this one. But this one, this is from a different set of Mix and Style, but look. See the little hooky jobbies, the swirls? They line up just like the last one. So these 2 right here, that's all you need. They line up. You're good to go. You can stack them, okay? For your impressions, you can stack them. You can do them side by side as a border. You can stagger them, okay? Step and repeat, whatever you got to do, they line up all kinds of ways. So I'm going to show you here in a second. Let's start with the frame. I'm going to take my tape, because you got to hold it in place, obviously. It's a stencil. And I'm going to also cover up these words down here, the Redesign with Prima and the CC Restyled. You don't want that on your wall or on your furniture or whatever you're stenciling. You don't want that, do you? I mean, if you do, leave it, but I don't, honestly, and that's my name. I don't even want it on my wall. So I'm going to tape over it just so I don't accidentally put my paint or medium or whatever on my wall. Because I've done that before a couple times. I'm one of those people, it takes me a couple times to learn my lesson. Yes, it does. So I'm going to grab some tape. And Let's see. Can you see? Facebook can't see. Boom. I'm going to start in the center-ish, okay? So if you're looking back, I know it's a little close up for you to see the whole wall, but if you're standing back, this is about the center of my wall, right? I mean, you're just going to have to trust me on that because. So that's the center of my wall. I don't want to start in the center. Like I said, I want to frame, okay? So I want here-ish, okay? So this is the center. I'm going to go slightly off. Boom. And I'm going to tape right over that little hole there for display, not for stenciling. Oh. And then I'm going to add a little bit more tape on the sides just to make sure it stays in place. Normally when I'm stenciling with paint, I'm going to take spray adhesive and I mist the back of my stencil to make it a little grabby, you know? Let it dry, tacky, it grabs, get a nice crisp stencil. I don't care about crisp on this for one. And for two, when I'm using a medium that's thick like this icing paste, it's easier to get a crisper stencil, so I don't need it to be perfect, and it's not like paint where it runs underneath so easy. Like it will bleed, but not so much if you're careful, okay? Unless if you use a ton, it could squish through, but I'm not planning on using a ton because I can't find my other jar of it. It's somewhere around here, but okay, so I got a little putty knife. I'm gonna do some of the frame. Okay, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. This is gonna be an aged wall. It's distressed, it's old. It's going to look like an old beat down wallpaper that's showing through. So I'm just gonna do parts of my stencil. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, okay? Because if I did the whole thing, it would be all perfect and boxy. We don't want perfect. Perfect is for the bird. It's an illusion. It's not real anyways. But I want to make sure I get parts, at least, of these two little hooks. That way I know where to line up my insert, or my center, whatever you want to call it, okay? Okay, so we got that. I'm just getting a little bit on my putty knife, because I don't want to go too crazy, right? I'm going to let this dry, and when I do the wash over the top and I sand through lightly, it's going to show a little bit of this gold through, which is awesome. Because we love gold, right? Who doesn't? Don't answer that. I know a lot of people who don't like gold. It's okay. You don't have to all be cool. Okay, so I'm just scraping on bits here and there. You know, this technique or this, you know, whole treatment that I'm doing this wall is really fun. It's fun because, A, there's no real right or wrong way to do it. You kind of just add what you want, let it dry, add more of what you want, let it dry, add more of what you want, do a wash over it, and then sand through some spots. Like, how easy is that? It's one of those things that it just, it's very satisfying because there's no rules. You don't have to worry about if you're doing it right or wrong. And in the end, it's going to look cool, right? Like, no matter what, it's going to be all these cool things that you wanted to add and that you like. The end. Let's add a little bit more on this side because I'm probably going to end up going over here to add another impression. And I want that to line up somewhat. Can you see? Okay, we're good. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready for the moment? The drum roll moment? Okay, so you want to pull your stencil away from your surface because you don't want to smudge it, right? Even though it's not supposed to be perfect, you don't want it total not good. So we're going to pull away from the wall. And boom. Oh, don't mind that cord. It's from my lights. I haven't finished it. So this is our first impression, right? not so, it's kind of underwhelming, right? Because we're not done, but we're going to do a little bit more and you're going to see how it comes together. So we're going to take the same frame and we're going to stack it or repeat it or border it, whatever we want. And we're going to do the next impression. So let's go ahead and let's step and repeat. So that means we're going to do a we're going to repeat the pattern, but it's going to be, so step and repeat is when you repeat the pattern, but you do it kind of at an angle or offset. I'm not really sure how to describe that, but so it's not lined up immediately next to it, it's halfway up. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to step and repeat. Oh, let's see, it's going to line up right about halfway through would be here. Okay, so we're going to, let's see, lines up right here. Okay, do you see this? How are you lining it up, you say? I'm going to show you, hold on. Okay, do you see this little shape right here? Okay, so that little shape matches up with that little shape. And this, it kind of looks like a flame. It matches up with that little thing that looks like a flame. So right, wait, where did I say? Oh, right here. Oh my gosh. Okay, see, flame, flame. And I'm not going to press down hard on it because that's not dry yet right there, right? And I don't want to smash it too much. We're going to line it up just like that. Press our tape on, and then we're going to continue a pattern, okay? But it's offset just a little bit, so it's going to be a little more interesting than just tiled, which you can do. Okay, so this. There were some transfers I wanted to add to this, and I didn't get to show you because I can't find the transfers. I looked before I came on. Another one of the 10 reasons why I wasn't on time. Typical. But if you know me, you know timeliness is not my forte. It's painting. I hope, anyways. That's what I'm betting on. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in again part of the stencil. I'm not going to go, you know, ham and fill in the whole thing because I'm going for distress. You can fill in the whole thing if you're going for a nice, perfect pattern, but not me. I don't like perfect. Perfect is not perfect to me. It's not real. It ain't real. Oops, my bad. Okay, so let's get a little bit more of this corner up here, and then we're gonna do our inserts. Okay, let's see how it looks. Oh gosh, I'm notorious for breaking these things. They should make stronger ones for people like me who are just all muscle. Okay, let's pull it away from our surface. Boom, okay. So we got two there, right? If you kept going and did a whole pattern, whole wall, or whatever, you would see, you know, that it creates a pattern. It's kind of hard with two. Maybe we do one more little partial impression so that you get the idea. Okay, so we're going to line this up right here at the bottom. Let's see, lines up right there. I'm not worried about the trim. I'm gonna have to repaint the trim anyway, so if I get gold on it, I'm not worried about it. But you can tape it off if you're worried about it. So we're going to add a little bit more here so that we can continue the pattern instead of making it look like two just squares, you know. More so for your envisionings, your ability to envision my end goal here. So we're going to pull that away. Boom. Okay. So you're starting to see how it would tile together if we did the whole wall, right? Okay. See that? You can always, you know, if you think it looks too tiley, which, I don't know, everybody's different. I can always just take my finger and kind of do some of these edges to like blend in, look a little more organic, right? Like a little more natural, less tiley, like here. Just dabbing, but my brain likes the organic or hot mess look of the situation, you know? Okay, we got our frames. We're gonna do our inserts now. Okay, remember these two little shapes I showed you? Right there, it's just one, but one is all you need, really. Okay, so we chose this guy, right? Right. This guy and then the swallows, but they're there. Let's do this guy first since he's in my hand. Okay, we got a little more tape. What do you do with that tape, bruh? Bruh. A little more tape. And, okay, so we'll pretend this is dry. I'm not going to wait till it's dry. You can, but I'm not because video. But, plus I don't care if it's a little distressed looking. So, see these two little, those hooky jobs right there? We're laying up the little hooky jobs on this. See that? See how they line up just right. I'm not going to try to smash what I've already done, so I'm just going to gently put it on there. But in real life, I would wait for you to I would wait for it to dry. That's my suggestion, but video. So pretending that's dry, we line it up. Then we go through and we add our next impression, which is the inside of the little frame, okay? This is one I chose. Again, there's like several other ones you can choose from. You can do the same inside for each frame all the way through. You can switch it up. That's up to you, boo. That is up to you, boo. And again, I'm not going to film the whole thing because the idea here is distress, age. Okay, pull it up and away, out, so we don't smudge it too much. Boom. See, you get that pattern? You might not be feeling my flow here because I'm not doing the whole thing. But if you can envision where I'm going with this, you get it. But I'll show you up close here in a second, okay? So you can at least see where they line up. So you can imagine that perfect stenciling or whatever you're going for with your insert, whichever one you choose, with whichever frame you choose. It's fun. It's kind of like a puzzle, but with an actual purpose in the end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my swallows, right? So again, we want to find our little hook jobs here, our little swirls, our lineup tools, our symbols, our, what do you call them? Key, something, I don't know, the little shapes that you use to line up, right here. Okay, we're going to find those again on this one with the swallows, our little classic flash, tattoo flash inspired insert or center. See how they line up perfect? Right there. See that? They line up just right, like Goldilocks. And now we only have one hand, but we got this. We have a mouth, right? Oh, come on. I should have got my tape first, huh? Boom. That's all we need. All right, so we got one more to go here, and then I'll be out of your hair. I'm going to scrape through. I really would like to get this little element up here, that kind of classic Victorian damask type shape. And then obviously we need a swallow, I mean one of these birds here, the swallows or sparrows, whatever you want to call them. As far as I know, that's the same thing. I could be totally wrong. I'm no bird expert, no. But, sorry YouTube, redheaded stepchild there. Let's see. I'm running out of icing paste. To distress, pin in distress. Okay, so I'm gonna get my little swallow here. You gotta see him, because they're so cute. I love me. I'm gonna call them sparrows. That's a little less awkward. Sparrows, my sparrows. Little flash sparrows. Okay, you know what? When in necessity, use your finger. This is the last of my icing paste, you guys, in this color that I can find. I have another jar of it or two somewhere, but we got to get every last drop, so I'm using my finger. Okay. That's how delicious this is. Look. Is that not, like, I'm a texture person, so maybe that's the reason, but if you're not, isn't that like, look, isn't it delicious? Like, that's a great texture. To me, who agrees? Who agrees? Can't be the only one, right? All right. Boom. Ready, Sarah Sparrows? Boom. There's our sparrows. Aren't they so cute? Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit closer like I promised. You're probably like, I don't really know. I don't know where you're going with this. I get this often, so I'm not offended. If you don't know where I'm going with this, that's okay. Stick around and you'll see the end result and you'll be like, okay, now I see it. So the difference, or what I'm going to do differently on the next few impressions is I'm going to take, here, let me get this out here. I'm going to go, instead of just continuing to repeat it, what I'm going to do is, hold on, one sec. YouTube, I guess you get the old non-gimbal treatment. Here you go. Okay, so here's a close-up before I explain further. See how they line up there? You can imagine if you had like paint or something, but I have this texture medium, this icing paste. It's beautiful. Okay, so let me step back because you couldn't see the whole thing earlier. Oh God, step back without falling over on stuff because there's so much stuff in here. Anyways, so the frame I'm talking about is, okay, pardon me, YouTube, you're going to have to just hold tight right here. Oh gosh. Okay, you see? Okay, so I'm going to be going around here, the frame, all right? That's the frame. So from where I've started, I'm going to go up around here, okay? And then on the other side, I'm going to go around here, okay? That's going to be my kind of frame-in situation with the same stencilings, those same designs. That way it's kind of consistent. But I'm not going to go too crazy because, like I said, I'm going to do a few more layers of scraping on different mediums and colors. And then I'm going to take my sander and I'm going to go through and I'm going to sand different spots, okay, so that those little layers show through. All right, so everything you see right now is not going to be showing. Just little parts of it are, okay, whatever I choose. And then the bottom, we're going to have to do a wash or some sort of treatment on that fake wood paneling. It's a Lowe's 4x8 panel of fake wood. It's repurposed. I had used it on something else in my shop, and now I'm using it here. Most of the items that I'm using on my shed/studio here are repurposed. Most of them. I like to repurpose things, you know, just mostly because it's fun, and I like the satisfaction of doing it, and, you know, save the earth, all that stuff. But anyways, so I hope that you can see where I'm going with this. If not, I'm going to be documenting most of it. If you were following along on Facebook to my previous videos of this process, you'll know that I was planning on sharing all of it with you. I think the only thing on here I did in is a couple of scrapes of some color and then the wash of the white that I did, which is not so much of a wash as much as it is just a layer of white paint. But you'll see when we sand through, all these little bits of color kind of pop through. So it's like distressing, but way more fun and way more satisfying. So So I'm going to hop off of YouTube. And that's our initial try at the YouTube live stream for me. Trying to see how that goes, just to reach some new people and sharing on a different platform live. But I'm going to hop off here, and then I'm going to answer some questions on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Facebook that I see. So I will catch you guys later. Thank you for hopping on. I really appreciate it. And I'll go back on YouTube and answer those questions. I see a couple. So you guys are funny. Okay, I'll catch you later. Bye.